shared a number of different diet options because we are into the first week of the new year. For those of us who struggle with hunger pains, you may think this latest diet won't work, but the creator says it does. Dr. Bert Herring is the author of the Fast 5 diet and the Fast 5 lifestyle. The premise of this is you only eat during a 5-hour window of the day, and you pick the 5 hours you want to eat. After your 5 hours, you can only consume things with no calories, like water, tea, or diet soda. This book has been translated into 3 languages, and Dr. Herring is here in the studio to walk us through this diet. And as you can see, he's kind of an example for it. You're very svelte. Good morning to you, Dr. Herring.
Good morning, Stacey. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Tell me about how you got the idea.
I got the idea when I was working at NIH and had a few busy days.
The National Institutes of Health?
Yes.
Okay.
And had a few busy days when I just didn't have time for breakfast or lunch. And after those few days, I realized that I wasn't hungry during the day anymore, and I had some extra weight that I wanted to lose, but it had crept up on me, and I was noticing that it was going away. So I kept this up for a while, and sooner or later, it felt great, and I was losing the weight, and I got back to my optimal weight, and it felt fine, so I kept it up.
Okay, so do you think this is working because of calorie restriction, or do you think there's something more at play?
There is more at play, because one of the keys in the old way to lose weight of eat less and exercise more, it's hard to eat less. Or being around food all the time, it's easy to eat more. But to eat less, it takes some method to say what's okay and what's not. And this separates it into time when it's either okay or it's not okay, and it makes it an easy decision. Okay,
so here are the things that you can eat during that 5-hour window. Now people will say, you know, wine, chocolate, donuts. You can eat those things. Do you recommend eating those things?
No, I recommend a diet that's based on fruit and vegetables, just like Mom and Grandma used to say. But it's also nice to know that there's nothing that's taboo, nothing off limits, so you don't have those cravings for things you just can't have. So these are allowed. It's not something I would recommend for everyday intake, but now and then it's nice to know that you can have these things.
Now you actually went way back in human history and modeled this diet. You kind of take the caveman approach. And if you think about it, you know, we're so blessed in this time and day and age where we have food like that. But that was not the case for millions of years for humans.
That's right. And so this does, in fact, resemble the caveman diet, where the caveman had to get up and hunt down the game, or had to go out and gather the food first, and then brought it back to the village or the hut or the family camp, tribe, whatever, to have then. And then they would share the food in the evening, and then that's all they would have until the next day, and would have to use their energy to go out and hunt again. I
got to bring up one point, and you and I were talking about this during the break. I tried this last year, and I remember that when I was not eating, my personality was, I had no energy for anything. So how do you overcome that? Because obviously I can't be like that, and neither can anybody else.
Well, one of the things that I say in the book is that adjusting to this diet does take some work, and it's a little bit like climbing a sandy hill. You can expect to slip a little bit, and it takes some time to adjust. But once you adjust and your body's ready to supply energy from the fat, which is just fuel that it's stored, once it's ready to do that, then it can do it all day, no problem, just like the old days.
Okay, the Fast 5 diet and the Fast 5 lifestyle by Dr. Herring. If people want to pick this up, where do they get it?
They can order it from Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. And it's also online at fast5.com. The whole thing can be downloaded for free.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Herring.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you being here.